A very good morning. Today's topic will be on standardization of endodontic instruments. So, coming to the introduction, it is always known that for endodontic treatment, instruments are going to play a very important role in the success of root canal treatments. Therefore, a knowledge of the endodontic instruments is very important, and there are a few guidelines which exist for root canal preparation. So, there is due to a different anatomical variation and due to the complexity of the canals, there are unique challenges which are present. So according to this, to deal with these challenges, a variety of instruments are available for this purpose. So the alloys which are used for manufacturing of endodontic instruments include carbon steel, stainless steel, nickel titanium. So coming to carbon steel, these are the ones which contain about 2.1 percentage of carbon. So coming to stainless steels, these are corrosion resistant instruments and they are going to be having around 18 percentage of chromium, 8 to 10 percentage of nickel and 0.12 percentage of carbon. So the carbon amount is considerably low in stainless steel instruments. Next, moving on to nickel titanium. So these are the ones which consist of about 55 percentage of nickel and 45 percentage of titanium. So coming to the advantages of carbon steel, it is that they have higher hardness and cutting efficiency than stainless steel. But the drawback is that they are prone to corrosion if they are autoclaved and they tend to rust very easily. Coming to stainless steel, these have an advantage of corrosion resistance and have higher cutting efficiency, but the drawback is that they are very stiff in nature and they are more prone to distortion. Now, the next alloy is nickel titanium. The advantages of nickel titanium is shape memory and super elasticity, low modulus of elasticity, they are resistant to corrosion, they have got good resiliency, but the drawback is that they have poor cutting efficiency compared to stainless steel and they do not show signs of fatigue before they fracture. Now coming to the classification of endodontic instruments, according to Grossman, they can be classified as exploring instruments, debriding instruments, cleaning and shaping instruments, and obturatic instruments. So the exploring instruments are the ones which are used to locate the canal orifice to determine the patency of the canals like endo explorers, DG16 explorers, smooth broaches, and the debriding instruments are the ones which are used to extirpate the pulp and remove the debris like our barred broach. Next, coming on to cleaning and shaping instruments, these are required to clean and shape the root canals laterally and apically, like the reamers and files. Next, moving on to obturatic instruments, these are the ones which are used to cement and pack getapaca into the root. Example includes spreaders, pluggers, and netlow spirals. Next, coming on to the classification of cleaning and shaping instruments, there are four groups. Group 1, which are hand operated. Group 2 is low speed instruments, which latch type. Type 3 is Group 3 is engine driven. Group 4 is ultrasonic and sonic. Coming to Group 1, hand operated instruments, there are part broach and rasps, K-type reamers and files, and headstrom files. Moving on to low speed instruments which are latch type attachment, it includes gauge glidden drills and piezo reamers. Moving on to engine driven instruments, it includes rotary niter instruments, reciprocating instruments, and self adjusting files. Now coming to the ISO color coding, so with the exception of pink, gray and purple, the colors are usually repeated for every 6 instruments. For example, 6 is pink, 8 is gray and 10 is purple. So with the exception of this, white, yellow, red, blue, green and black are the ones which are colors which are repeated for every 6 instrument. For instance, 15 is white, 20 is yellow, 25 is red, 30 is blue, 35 is green and 40 is black. The same is repeated for the next 6 instruments like 45 is white, 50 is yellow, 55 is red, 60 is blue, 70 is green and 80 is black. So that extends up to the file size of 140. Next, moving on to the standardization of endo instruments, there are a few recommendations which have been given by Engel, which states that the cutting blade should be around 16 mm in length, that is D0 to D16. So the cutting blade should be 16 mm in length, and each number, the diameter of the tip should be in the hundredth of a millimeter of the tip. So the diameter of the instrument should be in hundredth of the millimeter of a tip, and the diameter of D16 shall be around 32 divided by 100 or 0.32 mm greater than that of D0. Always these are the recommendations which are followed for endo instruments, and apart from this the instrument size are going to increase. The later modifications which include that the instrument size is going to increase by about 0.05 mm at D0 between the numbers of 10 to 60 and zero point 0.1 mm from the numbers 60 to 140. And the instrument handles have to be color coded, and the tip of the angle of an instrument should be present at an angulation of 75 plus or minus 15 degrees. So these are the ones which are the standardization of endo instruments. It helps in identifying the instrument and gives them a specific shape, size, so that they can be used with it for endo treatment. Thank you.